Welcome back to the Independent Republican Mike Graham, right here on talkTV. It is, of course, May Bank Holiday. Some people think that May Bank Holiday is a celebration of the workers of the world. There used to be May Day celebrations, did there not? There used to be maypole dancing. There used to be May Day marches through the centre of cities. I mean, the trade unions used to do it. So even if they weren't actually working, doing a job, they were working, doing something, right? We now have currently what can only be described as an outbreak of work-shy-itis. People don't want to go to work. People don't seem to want to get up in the morning and get on a train, travel to a place of work and actually do something for a living. Over in the United States of America, things have gone from bad to worse. Apple is a company that makes absolute fortunes, right? Billions and billions and billions of dollars a week, probably, right? They've asked for some of their workers to return to work 3 days a week. And guess what? The workers are actually revolting against it. Tim Cook, who's the man in charge, says, we'd like you to come back for 3 days a week. That's not asking too much, is it? The employees have got together and written a letter to Tim Cook to say they don't fancy it. And the reason they don't fancy it is because what it will do is make the company younger, whiter, and more male-dominated. So maybe one of you could explain to me, why is it that if you have to go to an office, it's more difficult if you're a woman? It's more difficult if you're not white. It's more difficult if you are somehow older. Why would that be difficult? I mean, I'm not exactly young. I manage to make it in every day. I am white, so I can't really help that. There's nothing I can do about that. But also, and I am a man. I'm willing to admit that. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But let's face it, there's no way working 3 days a week is in any way a chore. And if you want a bleeding job, be prepared to go somewhere and do it. You know, working from home's not working. It's sitting at home in your pyjamas, doing the square root of sweet FA, quite frankly. And it's time you stopped, did something for a living. Quite angry about this.
3:20 on talkTV, just before we go back to the calls. I mentioned the Apple story. Have a listen to this. I mean, you want to hear a crock of mumbo-jumbo? Here it is. Employees of the tech giant Apple are revolting against a plan to get staff back into the office for 3 days a week, claiming it will make the company younger, whiter, and more male-dominated. Tim Cook, Apple's CEO, said his proposed hybrid working pilot for the United States, Europe and UK employees is an attempt to balance the corporate benefits of in-office working with the personal advantages that working from home gives some staff members. But a group of US-based Apple employees has formed an organisation dubbed Apple Together. Yeah, what they did there. And claim the initiative is only driven by fear. The unnamed staff have sent an open letter to the executives of the multi-million-dollar company and given 6 reasons why they believe the plan to get back to the office will fail. I haven't got the 6 reasons, but don't worry. Chief among them are concerns that it will negatively impact diversity within the company. And I'm looking at this thinking, hang on a sec. So going to work is now racist. It is racist for a company to suggest you come back to us from the place you've worked for many years. Forget about the poor Apple staff in the actual Apple stores that have no choice but to go there every single day. But this group of nutjobs have somehow concocted a theory based on the rather hysterical lexicon from which some members of our human race now read, and decided that going back to the office is something that has an advantage if you're male, younger, and white. And I'm scratching my head. I have literally no idea how they came up with this conclusion, or what they think will be disadvantaged, or who they think will be disadvantaged. So if you are black and work for Apple in California, why does that put you at a disadvantage than being white. I mean, this is about going into work. They're not saying come into work and while you're here, do an extra 10 hours. And I would have kind of thought that if you're working for Apple at a level where you could work from home or you could go in, I'm thinking, we're not talking about the cleaners here. We're not talking about the catering staff, right? We're talking about people who, I would take a guess, are professionals in the kind of IT tech world. So not people that, to begin with, are particularly disadvantaged. But we live in a world where hysteria is your best friend, where it's your go-to point for everything that is wrong with life. And if you can conjure up a fake narrative and put the word race in there, you've ticked all the boxes. Bingo. Fantastic. Look at this. Apple are at it as well, asking people to come back to work. How very dare you? Well, we pay you $100,000 a year. Well, that's not the point, isn't it? It's just a racist thing. No, it's literally where you work, dumbo. It's as simple as that. Oh, and by the way, we're not asking you to come back every day. We're just going 3 days a week. Poor old Tim Cook is going, well, it's not every day. It's like, well, if he wants it every day, he owns the thing. He's the CEO. He's the Steve Jobs of today, right? Top man by all accounts. So back to chapter 756 of our topsy-turvy Alice in Wonderland world we are currently living in. The select group of Apple employees who think it is racist to be asked to return to the workplace. Funny world, kids.